All right, here's Steve Mercado's two-ball game, and you might be familiar with his three-ball game, which was the phys ed game of the year, and this one's arguably even better, and this is for grades 4 to 8, and you'll need pennies, cones, and two different foam balls. So thanks, Steve, for your awesome ideas. To start, you can use a full court basketball court, and you can use the side nets if you have them as well, if you want. And you're going to place down cones to form four jails in each of the corners. And in those four corners, you're going to create even teams if possible. They don't have to be exactly even, but try your best. And you're going to give them pennies to so they can distinguish different colors. You're going to place down one ball, which will be the throwing ball, and you're going to use your standard dodgeball, one color, doesn't matter. And you're going to place down another ball. This is going to be a little bit bigger if possible, or it could be the same size, but we'll use a little bit bigger here as a kicking ball. So you have a throwing ball and you have a kicking ball. And on the go signal or on the whistle to start, all the players are going to have to leave the jails. So you blow the whistle and then they all exit and the game is on. So they'll spread out or they'll try and make a rush to the ball or whatever. And when they get to the ball, now this is an elimination type game to try and be the last team left or the last person from the last team that's left in the game. And so simple ideas, the throwing ball is to be thrown to try and hit other players like a dodgeball. So you get hit, then you're out. So you see a kicking ball was kicked and a yellow player was hit as well. So that player goes into a jail. Now they can choose whichever jail they go into. It doesn't matter which jail. Now a player has gone to the throwing ball and has thrown it and hit another player. So again, go into whatever jail you want when you're hit. And a player went to the kicking ball and has kicked it and hit a player, so that player also goes into one of the jails. And some other rules: if a player gets to the throwing ball and walks or runs with the ball, that player must go into the jail. They are also out because you can't run or walk with the ball. And another rule: if a player gets the kicking ball and then kicks it up into their hands or picks it up into their hands, that player must go to jail because you can't put the kicking ball into your hands either. All right, so some other rules. If a player gets to the ball and throws it at a player but hits their own teammate, well, that player, their teammate is not out. There's no friendly fire allowed. So, in fact, you want to encourage passing between teammates to move that ball around. And so, what we'll see here is the little blue player down in the corner. If that player is scared of the red player and kind of backs up and doesn't look, and they've crossed the line into the jail, they're out. They're in jail. You have to be careful because if you step into a jail, you're in jail. And some more rules here. The green player up at the top, that player was also backing up for some reason and got close. So the red player who was in jail was able to tag that green player who was close. And so that player has freed themselves from the jail, the red player, and the green is in jail. So you can free yourself by tagging someone who's too close to the jail. And yeah, so there's lots of unique rules. This is a super fun idea. We're going to continue looking now. The throwing ball sometimes makes its way and rolls into one of the corner jails. When it's in there, a player who's in the jail can take that throwing ball and try and throw it to hit a player to free themselves. So yellow has thrown it, hit a blue player. Blue player is now in jail, and yellow has freed themselves. So free yourself by hitting a player who is in the round or in the game. And another thing that can happen is the kicking ball sometimes gets kicked and it goes into the corner. Now the kicking ball is also called the jailbreak ball, so that's really important. Just the kicking ball. Now, with that ball, if it goes into a jail, anybody who's in jail can try and take a shot into the basketball hoop to try and score a hoop. If they can do that, they've jailbreak themselves just at jail. So we'll see that the player has picked the ball up into their hand. They can put it in their hand. So even though it's the kicking ball, once it's in the jail, it is now the jailbreak ball. So the player has thrown it and has scored a hoop. So the two players that are in that jail can re-enter the game and keep playing. And so we see that the game goes on, and maybe that ball made its way into the bottom corner. Now, there's another rule that the players who are in jail, they can leave their jail and they can go to any other jail at any time. So players who are in jail can go anywhere into the other jails. They just can't touch any of the balls that are live in play. So those two blue players joined that yellow player. Now they did that because that yellow player is going to be throwing the ball. They saw that this is a jailbreak ball, so they want to be freed. So they ran to that jail. So just remember that players who are in jails can switch the jails at any time. And so they're in that jail now. The yellow player has thrown it, and it did not go in, and it bounced over to that corner. Now, again, using the rule we just learned, players who want, they can run to the other jails. So they did that because the ball was there, and only the jailbreak ball, so only the kicking ball can be shot in the hoop. So not the black one there, the black with throwing ball. And of course, yeah, use whatever colors you want for your dodgeballs. And so you see that the player has picked it up and has thrown it, and It got it in, so those players in that jail would be free to join. And again, you'd go on and on until if there's one player, well, one team left. So whatever color team is the last players left in the game would win the round. And so the rounds could be short, the rounds could be long, but it's super dynamic, very unique. Another awesome game idea. Thanks, Steve, for this one. And please subscribe for more games if you've enjoyed this, and visit PhysEdGames.com.